once again, it's on.
What's happening, Kether?
Ain't shit, man. You know, another day.
Yeah. Popping.
Uh,
Go ahead, man. You go first.
I just been doing research. I was looking at I don't know what led me into it, but I started looking into what's it, adenosine. I started looking into what's it, adenosine triphosphate and mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
Yeah, I always say like mitochondria.
Now, so what are you looking into specifically about those things?
I was just studying it. I remember now because I started looking into gamma rays because like you know how they put
Ah,
the truth and stuff in your face and everything, right? So,
sure.
like I watch a lot of anime because they truth bomb you in them jaws. I got
hmm
you. So,
Yeah, I've heard that. I've actually heard that.
yeah. So, like, it's this one anime called Digimon. You know, I don't know if you heard about that, John. But
I
in
haven't.
this
Yeah, you
series,
said John.
oh yeah, I'm in
You from
Philly.
Philly?
Yeah,
Yeah. Where you at in Philly, yo? Hold on. We're gonna get back to it. Where you at in Philly?
so I'm out north. Fucking what was it 13th from Rockland?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Let me show you how the dynamics of the universe work. Son, I used to live at Kamak and Rockland.
Hey yo.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Now, I'm in California right now, right? So, I'm just the idea that you were at 13th and Rockland and I grew up. This dissertation you're going to catch today is part and parcel because of the Logan Valley, specifically 4900 of Kamak Street, Kamak and Rockland.
Yo, that's crazy as shit, dog.
Yeah. So I'm speaking to peoples. Good stuff. Okay, good. That's good stuff.
All right, but
Uh,
what is it like the
so
joint
you
I
were
be
you were
watching?
talking about your research. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so the joint I be watching it's called Digimon Ghost Game.
Yeah.
Now in it, it's this Digimon called Gamamon. Now he got
Okay.
like the thing with him is though he got like some like some something else like another kind of like Digimon inside him is like a dark version of him, and
Okay.
it's like his name is Gulu's Gamamon.
Yeah.
Now the name sound weird at first, but the thing is when he becomes Gulu's Gamamon, he has a his evolution is called Regulusmon.
Huh.
But when you look at the two of them, right, one is a white dragon and the other is a black dragon. But not
Interesting.
only that, they had a fight. Like they end up beefing with each other. They split apart from each other, fought, but then the light absorbed the dark, and then they came to an agreement with each other, and now like they can just intertwine with each other, like switch back and forth.
Mm. On
Like
the
and
yin and the yang side of the game.
yeah. And it's just like I'm
Mm.
thinking about it. I'm like, all right, so they telling a story with this shit when they because we understand the knowledge, so all the symbolism behind it. I'm like, so I
Always.
start, so this nigga name is Gamma Mine. So I'm like, all right, let me look into
Mm-hmm.
gamma stuff, like gamma rays
I
and all
got
that
you.
shit.
I got you. Yep.
So
And
I
you
started,
just
yeah, and
go
that's
ahead.
when
I'm listening.
it led me into looking into mitochondria and adenosine triphosphate.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
pretty much with that, like, I learned that mitochondria has its own DNA, separate from the other cells in the body.
Nice.
So that's like, and it's only passed maternally. Like, as far as like similar mitochondria in other people, you get
Yeah.
your mitochondria. You comes from your mom and shit like that. That's
Got
like,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
so like, but again, it has its own genetic frequent, like its own DNA code aside from anything
Yeah.
else in the body. So this joint is like, but the thing is, our mitochondria is really ancient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is, another thing, like when they throw truth in your face, when you look at like movies and shit like that, like with Spider-Man, the meteor coming down and the black goo coming out, the symbiote and shit like that.
Uh-oh.
But it's other stuff too, like in the movie It. You know that clown monster. When you read the book,
Yeah.
I ain't seen the movie, but in the book, like the monster comes from outer space. It was part of some comet
Oh.
that came from outer space and meteorite John landed on
I
Earth.
don't know that the movie is like that. I didn't see the movie, so I can't say. But I
Yeah,
didn't know that the origin was that it came from outer space.
yeah.
I
The
didn't know
thing is,
that.
people don't dig Stephen King. If you read his books and you have a lot of knowledge, he's tapped in for real. Like he tells the truth
Mm,
about a lot of shit. Like
I can see that. Yeah,
so,
yeah,
with that, I'm like, oh shit. So what if the mitochondria of us came from a comet? You know what I'm saying? Like it's really
yeah,
like, and if you play video games, bro, they got a game called Final Fantasy VII. Now
yeah,
in
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know, the main boss monster boy, the villain is named Sephiroth, but his
Okay.
mom was a he was made from the DNA of an alien that crash landed on Earth, and her name they named her Jehovah. Oh, not
Um,
Jehovah, Genova, like Jenova.
but yeah,
So it's
got
like,
it.
all right, so they just keep putting this crash landed life form shit in our faces,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
The
so the thing is, I'm learning. Like, I think comets are the UFOs for real. Like, people keep talking about spaceships and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's that, bro. I think it's really comets that carry germophobic life forms that land here. Some of the germophobic life forms are
mm,
far more sentient than other ones, though. You
listen,
got
you can think about
germs.
some other movies that showed us that depicted the same scene. We're talking about comets coming down. We're talking about comets coming down, going into the ground or crashing into the ground. They did that in Aliens with Tom Cruise. No, War of the Worlds. I'm sorry, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise and the two kids. Like all of the aliens came from out of the sky. They went like a comet into the ground, and then they came up out of the ground.
No, yeah, you ain't lying, man. Like this shit.
Yeah, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
bet. All right, yeah, I remember that shit. All right,
That's how
yeah,
all of the aliens got here that started invading Earth. They came from out of the sky like a comet, hit the ground, but like kind of buried into the ground a bit, and then came out of the ground, like incubated for a sec and came out of the ground. Yeah.
yeah. And see, here's the thing with that though, right? This, I don't think they talk about this, but I don't think everyone has the same mitochondria. And I
Nah,
think,
we're definitely in like if you ever been to like an international airport where there's all kinds of different ethnicities flowing through from Japan and Australia and Denmark and South America, that's what Earth is.
all right, I understand.
Yeah,
No, because I can picture it in my mind from how I felt watching like Chronicles of Riddick.
yeah,
If you seen them Johns and like how everybody was in the movies, even though it was only brief scenes, you could see like kind of exactly what you was talking about, like all these people mixed up, different religions, this, that, the third, all in one place, really just kind of coalescing as far as living.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I'm an older guy, right?
Yeah,
And for my money, the years I've been here and what I've dealt with, and what I've seen, we live in Star Trek, bro.
no
Like
real
like
shit.
like you tell me what you can see first today, Jesus or a talking robot?
Talking robot.
Mm, I'm just asking questions.
Like people
So
gonna see a talking robot before they see Jesus.
they right here. I mean, and we low key dealing with a part of their component to have this conversation.
No, yeah, real
Okay.
shit.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
What's up, I am?
Peace and love. Peace and love. Reflections. How are you?
Indeed, I'm well, bro. I'm well, man. We were just warming up the revelation. You know what I mean? I got this topic up here for a reason, man. Uh, I think I got some meat on the bones. Y'all can talk me down. Y'all can talk me down. I'll listen. I'm a fair man, but I find that a lot of quote unquote black folk are white supremacists.
In a
All
way.
right.
I mean,
One thing I'll say to that is I won't say they're like white supremacists. It's more so the behavior, like they try to imitate the elitism of like the white supremacy kind of thing. Like when they get money or start seeing success and shit like that, you see them like really start trying to emulate that. Like, and it's a whole bunch of examples I could provide in my own personal experience and out there in the world type shit. But yeah, like to me, it's like when people start getting more money, they start trying to be elite white.
What say you, I am?
I feel like it's the same thing. I think since we already understand that black teas and white teas are nothing but social constructs. I'm gonna say like
Yeah,
more of a status.
that's why black is in quotations. Yep.
It's a status. So there's a post that I've made what, like 2 days ago, actually, on something like that. Basically us being the walking, talking, and breathing, yin and yang, based off the fact that we understanding exactly the meaning of everything, such as our skin complexion is the representation of where we come from,
Yeah.
okay, and their skin complexion is a representation of what started. However, you know, um, we also have that light in us, so therefore they have darkness in them. That's the yin and yang in
Yeah. No, I
itself.
got it. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's solid. That's
Construct.
solid. I mean, there's definitely a yin and yang dynamic to the human race, right? Yeah, I'm digging that, right? Ebb and a flow, a ratchet and a classic in the
Yeah,
human race. These are
all types
facts.
of things.
But my question pointedly, gentlemen, is are black people, and black people is in quotations on purpose, are black people white supremacists? Like if white supremacy is this bad thing that none of us should be doing and participating in, why would I even fathom that a quote unquote black person would be a white supremacist? Am I
Because
bugging?
because they're black supremacists.
Oh,
Because and when we use that, when we use those terms as our black people, white supremacists, you got to look at that. The actions in itself become, that,
oh,
not the
wait.
person.
Stop right. Hold on. Stop right there. I am. What do you mean by that? That the actions become what? What do you mean?
Just like with the brother that Keither said, basically the actions. It's the actions. Basically the when person feels though they get some type of success, the thought process on how to act or how to be is it was a status
Mm,
quo on how to be
mm,
rich, how to be
got it.
wealthy, famous,
Got it.
and it was put under the white categorization, of how to be. Us,
You've made it.
we happy, we trying to bring everybody with us, but then in certain aspects we started to certain things started to happen, and our own people, we like to think our own people came towards us and came against us, so we started to try to be what we assumed was better, a
So
better form of.
maybe the better question for you gentlemen is this: how is it possible to become a successful melanated man, staying culturally to his roots within the system of capitalism in North America? What's that formula look like? What's that formula?
Well, to be perfect, I'll say this. I for me, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of what I'll say for real, like what I believe would be a lot like really radical, but for the most part, I say people misunderstand what their roots actually are. When I say that, people look way too far back. Like when you look at just people regular talking, even the little magic practitioners or whatever, they'll be sitting there talking about some ancestors, but don't know nobody names or nothing. You going back thousands of years trying to tap into some ancient peoples. Them niggas ain't lived in this world. They don't know this shit. They don't know who we are for real. We got way closer relations and shit like that. People skip over the past 100 years of their own family line. Like our roots is here. America. Like if you're here now, your roots are American roots. Your people, your family was here for however long that shit was going on.
Can
Those
I
are our roots. This is the land we come from. Trying to
part of
sit there and say, "Oh, our land was this, but our people was moved," and that's someone else's history. You weren't
yeah,
part of that. You weren't born there. Your land and your history
bro.
is all here.
What you saying? I am.
No,
No.
I'm
I was
saying
talking.
like everyone's land and history is here, like where you were born and shit. Your family,
Oh no,
like
no. I was asking. I am because I am was. I think he was trying to get in with you. What were you saying? I
my
am.
fault, bro. My fault, bro.
No, you
I
good.
was trying to say when he based the land and named it America. I'm not going to say America to marry, none of that. We don't know the land because we didn't create it, and until we figure it out, as far as we know some of what the land was called, some of the land. So that's why it gets me when we talk about, when our people and all this, and they want
See,
money, not knowing that's still the same system that you're basically going back in. All you're doing is making yourself control the system that is being here now, and that's why I don't really get into the
so, bro, one thing, there's a difference between the land and the system. And to be perfectly honest, you can't sit there and say people like what other system is there to use, bro? We
yeah.
can't
I mean,
switch from
we are everything.
democracy to
The money.
communism in America, bro. Like there's no
I mean,
other way to
why?
live.
Why?
So
Why?
when
Why?
people
I
are
mean,
part of the
there is.
system,
It's just
Why?
that you don't realize that everything was free from the rip. So really, we wasn't
bro,
seeing
like I
what.
understand what you're talking about, but
So
at
if
the
you go
same
to
time, all these processes, I'm a completely aware what you're saying. But there's a
right,
lot of pushback from that, from more powerful organizations than that one person trying to make this stuff happen just for even themselves. Like
right.
you can't really expect people
So
to up in their lives from how they've been living it however long to
That's
finally
the
realize the truth and just immediately be like, you know what, fuck all that. Like sometimes you
So
get
then,
to
how
experience
does
it where
change happen then, Kevin?
exactly. That's
Kevin, how does
literally.
change happen?
change happens when you start using the system instead of always considering yourself a slave. Change is
How are you gonna use the
perception and
system if it's
perspective,
working
bro.
against you?
No,
yeah,
bro,
that
listen.
Hale,
No,
Hale,
no,
what do you got to
listen.
say, Hale? Let me let Hale in the conversation,
All
guys.
right,
Go
all
ahead,
right.
Hale.
Yeah, my fault.
You said hold on. You said something about we can't do capitalism to communism, but capitalism is the reason communism hasn't worked out well. It's always capitalism has always tried to demean communism
No,
communism working to its full potential, like
like
every
I get
time.
what you're saying, bro, but that was just an example. That's not even something I even care about for real.
yeah.
Because they
But
gotta
and you
understand,
said
like
something
there's what's
about
going
using the
on.
system.
Listen, like I'm trying to say like real quick. There's your world and there's the world. You gonna try to live in the world and have all these things that's not really affect you for real, or your mindset at least, or you gonna
You're
live in
being
the world
vague.
you actually
You're
in,
being
bro.
vague.
Your world has
Real
its own
vague.
rules,
It's affecting
regulations. You go
everybody.
certain places, you see certain people in these places all the time, things like that. You got your own world, bro. Like,
You're
and a
talking
lot
too
of time,
vaguely, bro. Be a little specific. You're talking too
like my
vaguely.
little, what I mean is, like from your perspective, your world is your own. Like a lot of what goes on in the world, we hear about it, but a lot of time we don't really be seeing it like that. Like you can hear about 1,000 murders in the city, bro. Ain't nobody
Uh
died around you. Not to say like that's for everybody type shit, you know what I mean? But it's just for a
Are
more.
you saying we shouldn't care? Is that what you're
No, it's
saying?
not about caring. It's more so about not putting yourself in outside of yourself so much. Like be
I don't
back more
understand what that
yourself
means.
as the observer looking at life rather than trying to be a part of something you can't really even control. Like
That sounds like you're saying to not care.
Yeah,
that's how you're
basically
taking
keep
it.
up on
That's what I'm hearing.
experiencing the
Like how
ascension.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. You can care all you want. What are you gonna do about it? You can care
My
We
about all
are
the
doing
homeless
best.
something
people in
about
your
My
it. We're
city
talking
right
about
now,
best.
it. We're
bro. Are you
discussing
gonna
it.
go
We're
feed
learning.
every last one of them? Are you gonna make
I'm
sure
gonna
right
try
now
my
that they call
best.
can eat,
We're
bro? Or are
talking
you gonna
about
make
Gonna
feeding
sure
the
try my
homeless, bro.
best.
you
I'm gonna
try your
try my
best? Like,
best.
bro, like you ain't fed one homeless person today. Like, what you mean try your best?
What's wrong with that?
How you
What's wrong with
know?
doing one or
My
more?
thing is, why you were so pressed to care about something you're not gonna do nothing about?
It's called having basic human sympathy, bro. I
I
don't
can
know.
have
You don't.
sympathy, bro, but my shit
What
come
the
behind
heck?
action. I'm not gonna waste my energy that I can use for action to sympathize with people I'm not gonna do shit
What do you
for.
mean?
Now, can I say something,
Now you
please?
sound like there's just a hypocrite at that point.
Go ahead,
Am
I
I a
am. Go
hypocrite?
ahead, I am.
I'd rather have
What?
food than sympathy,
One
bro.
second,
For real.
guys.
What?
One
Like,
second,
what?
guys. Go ahead, I am.
All right. What I'm trying to get to is okay. We all got like well, again. I had this conversation with someone before about our truths. All right. Now everyone has their truth, so we don't judge no one's truth because we are not the judge. So, however, if you have your truth and I have my truth, and your truth is based off of the knowledge and the memorabilia that you was given underneath the what we know as slavery and the light code lockdown. Okay, so you have your truth that you received during this we like to call awakening, and everyone else does too. So no one is false here. However, we just have certain perceptions that gives us the look that make things false. So when you say things like, what are we going to do about it? Every day that we rise, we do something about it when we talk to a stranger about the knowledge that we receive, when we talk to our family. But some people you can't talk to, so we do understand that. Some people you just not going to be able to bond with on certain frequencies because you're on a different level of frequency. So you're not going to be able to talk to people about everything. You can't talk to somebody about being homeless and messed up that ain't never experienced that. You know what I mean? So if you're talking to someone that actually goes out and looks out for people, and you saying that they don't when you don't know, to me it's just like, okay, is that something that you would like to do to help out people? Because that
No,
sounds like something
I
that
do
you would
that,
like to
but that's what
do
I'm
to help
saying. But
out
my
people,
thing
because you
is,
can't
I
help
get where you're
everybody.
coming from, but he said he sympathizes with these people and things like that. So he has them on his mind. He's considering them. He knows what their situation is and all that. He knows he can't do everything for everybody, but at the same time, has he done something today, even once for one person that he sympathizes for so much?
Wait, so what do you mean? What is that? What
It's
the?
just I'm trying. All right. We shouldn't care so much about how someone feels or what they do for someone else. We should care about what we do for ourselves. And then in that point, we actually do stuff for other people in
Yes.
that process by caring about
Wait,
ourselves.
well, you said that.
But,
What have I done today? What does that mean?
You're the one that sympathizes with people. What have
You?
you ask yourself that question, bro?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. That's what I'm asking you to
It's
clarify that.
rhetorical.
little bad that I
I
you
don't know
know, I
what you mean
wish
by
I
I haven't
could
done something
do
today.
something for a person
That's why I said I should try my best.
in this realm just with
Hell,
you.
hell. Let me ask you, man. What do you think about this particular topic? Like, are black people white supremacists? What do you think about that?
No,
What
I
would
don't
be
think
your
so.
reply to that? You don't think
Hell
so?
no. Hell no. Not even close. Not even close. Uh, ex- a good explanation is I think it was today. Today, our fearless president today, bro, literally was on the news talking about how he was gonna get undocumented people for farmers to own them, and they won't have any citizenship, but farmers will have a ways to own them for them to work, and they'll get some stuff.
What state is this? What state is that?
No, like the president right now just said that shit. Literally just said that.
He said that the farmers would own the workers. He said that out of
Yeah, the
his mouth today.
undocumented workers. Yes,
Mm.
literally today. What does that sound like to you?
I gotta hear that.
It is what it is. Someone
What
once
does
said.
that sound like to you though?
It sounds like he's saying that somebody's about to be owned.
That sounds like it starts with an S.
Slovenia,
Slavery, buddy. It sounds like slavery. That sounds like slavery.
where the word slavery comes from. But yes, yes.
That sounds like he's literally remaking slavery.
Well,
Bro,
but
That
here's
was
the question, though. Hell.
bro,
Here's the question.
everything
I like it. Let's dance on this
different.
for a moment.
I mean,
Where are there not slaves?
I don't know how to answer. What do you mean where? Like in the world?
I'm sticking to that question. Those are the
In
words I want to
in the
use.
world? That's I'm trying to see what you're saying. In the world? What do you mean?
You can start wherever you want to start. The question is, where are there not slaves?
I don't know how to answer that question because I'm trying to clarify. I don't know how to answer that question because I'm trying to clarify. Do you mean in the world?
Well, I mean, you live in, where do you live?
In America?
So where are there not slaves where you live?
None that I know of. I hope.
Oh my word.
I don't know how to answer the question. I said none of that
I
at
mean,
all.
it's a deep thing. We listen. I'm an old man. We've been so ingrained into this thing we call society that it's seamless. We can't see it right before our eyes. You know, you can't even fathom it. It's clear.
What do you mean I can't fathom it?
I'm just saying that ultimately your mind isn't even in that space. Um, to
Um,
observe
observe
what I'm
what?
referring to.
I don't understand what you're saying. That's why I'm trying to like clarify it. You're speaking too vaguely.
Well, let's stick to the topic. Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think? You said that they're not.
No. No, I don't know that they're not. Well, I'll take my ancestors for example. Uh, I'm from Haiti. Uh, Haitians have helped multiple countries free themselves from oppression. I think more than three actually. So I don't know how we're supremacists in that type.
No, I listen. I think that that's fantastic. Like you, like shit. What's Haiti's revolutionary signal? What do you say? Isn't there something like the country says? Like you know,
There's a lot of
no.
quotes I don't remember. There's a lot of quotes. I can't lie to you. There's a lot of
Yeah,
quotes.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Long live Haiti, bro. You ain't got
Yeah.
nothing.
So I can't really say we're supremacists at all. I don't see that at all in any
Well,
way.
I mean, let's go globally then. Let's move around the world. Let's leave Haiti, right?
Huh?
Um, and let's go to the Dominican Republic,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, what are the standards of beauty in the Dominican Republic? What would you say the standards of beauty are?
You talking about like race wise or what do you mean?
Well, people in the Dominican Republic are Dominican, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm asking you, what's the beauty standard there?
Uh I'm gonna answer that question with what I think you mean. Um
No,
like
just answer it truthfully. Just answer it
yeah.
for what it is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really understand it. That's what I'm gonna answer as I assume you're asking it. I'm gonna say like fair skin or lighter skin, I believe.
Okay, that's what you think the
Yeah,
standard of
yeah.
beauty
Use
is
the word
in
beauty,
the
sense of beauty.
Dominican
I don't know what
Republic.
you mean. Yeah.
You know what a standard of beauty is, right?
Like, are you talking about
Like
being attractive or like what do you mean?
pretty versus not pretty. Yes,
Yeah,
a standard of
yeah.
beauty. Yes.
Lighter
So
skin.
you're saying it's like a lighter skin thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what would you say it is in Haiti?
Um, in Haiti, I won't
Standard of beauty.
due to some colonialisms. I don't really know because we also have some beef with people who have lighter skin because of one of our hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Straight talk.
What's happening, man?
What's up, bro?
Man, we getting it in, man. We getting it in
We
without
getting
all
it
this
in.
rain.
Oh, so you dealing with the rain?
Yeah, man, it's bad on the East Coast, bro. Bad,
Yeah,
bad.
nah. My mom's over there. She was telling me that.
It's like England over here, man. And I'm talking about it's July,
You said it's like England. That's bad.
dude. Yes, I'm telling you,
That's
it's
like every other day rain.
every
What
other
you mean?
day, bro. June has been like straight. You remember how they say April showers, May flowers
Bring
back in
May
the day? Come,
flowers.
yeah, yeah. It was our April was June, bro.
Yo,
I
Madness.
real
mean,
shit.
just madness. The clouds. Everybody's saying that something's wrong with this weather, dude.
It's climate change.
Well, yeah, if someone is able to control it, like your TV set, oh yeah, I don't
Uh,
know.
hey, I'm
I
just
don't
saying. I
know.
know it. Listen, we got
I
old
said
timers
if
out.
someone. I didn't say that someone could. I just said
Nah,
if.
I'm just saying this. We got old timers out here that's like, yo, I've been out here on this road like 40 years and I ain't never seen it like this. You know, like on the
Mm,
East Coast, it's never been like this. So
But
if
again,
it
yeah,
continues, if it continues throughout July and August, I know something's crazy.
oh, it's
yeah.
definitely climate change.
Yeah,
Oh, there's gonna be way more storms. Way more storms. I heard that's just coming hot, actually.
I'm interested in the conversation you had with the brother from Haiti. That's why I was sitting there just
Oh
listening.
yeah. I think I was talking about the. You said the something beauty. And is it the same? I believe you asked.
Yeah, I was asking about the standard of beauty
Oh yeah. You
in
said is the same
Haiti and
lighter
also
skin
in
color.
Dominican Republic.
I don't know because it's kind of mixed. Uh, due to some
No,
like
what is the
past history.
standard of beauty in Haiti?
Yeah,
You were able to
I'm
tell
saying it's
me in
mixed.
Dominican,
It's
like,
mixed. It's
so.
either that I don't really I can't really speak for all of it. Because the past history
Well, but you spoke
wise.
for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I said what I think. That's what you mean.
I'm just, bro. I'm asking you for
I
your
can't
point
speak
of
for them.
view.
That's what I think it is. I can't speak
Right,
for
your point of view from what you know and
them.
your experience in life. That's what I'm asking you.
Bro, this not a debate. You try to be right. Like, just state your opinion, bro.
Oh well, I would say, that they usually welcome people with lighter skin color.
You
In
talking
past
about
like
people in Haiti,
no, the Dominican Republic, but Haiti, I'm saying it's mixed. Because of some past
meaning mixed
history,
as in, what does that mean? They mean,
like let's
So you
say
saying because of the light skinned people being there, people have a preference for light skin and a preference for dark skin, and so it's mixed.
yeah, because of some like past history. I'm gonna say battles. Because I believe we were like history wise, we were like getting jumped for real. But like I
yeah,
think like
yeah, no, no,
we were getting
that's
jumped
understood.
by like three nations, and so back then, like I would say like the masters used
Okay,
to.
but we're getting away from it again. This
Oh
is
no
how
no
we
no
get
no
lost
no
in the
no no!
sauce.
I'm trying to
I'm
explain
just
why.
saying,
I'm trying to explain
no,
why.
no, this
Oh
is
no
how
no
we
no
get lost in the
no no!
sauce.
I'm trying to
I'm
explain
just
why.
saying,
I'm trying to explain
no, no,
why.
I get it. I get it. I know the colonialization. I get it, bro.
No no
Like,
no no!
I'm
That's
with
not what
you.
I'm done. That's not where I'm getting at. That's not where I'm getting at. That's not. I'm saying like there was some people in Haiti who were there was some people in Haiti who were mixed, and they didn't get like the same type of freedom, but they had half of it. But it when and some of them wanted full of it, and so like they protest for that.
It would
And
be freedom, is what you're talking
yeah,
about, right?
no, yeah, but then like after they didn't get of it, they didn't get what they want. Then the revolution started, and then like I think aftermath of the revolution, they kind of backdoored us because they still wanted power.
Hi.
And then after they still wanted power, they started working for the other four people that were jumping us. And that's why I say it's like mixed because we can't because there's still like some tension. So I can't really say like
Well,
it's
when you say, but okay, but even if there's a war going on, my question is, what is preferred? Like, what is preferred in terms of attraction? That none of that
that's what I'm
story
saying. It's
Can I
really.
mixed.
answer your
That's what I'm saying. It's
question?
mixed.
Because I'm part Dominican.
Are you part Dominican? Oh, here we
Yeah,
I'm gonna let
go.
her speak. I'm gonna let her speak.
Somebody play the game show music. How are you?
I'm good. My
Kimichi
father,
fried chicken.
kimchi.
Kimchi fried chicken.
Yes.
Okay.
My father is Dominican and Korean. My mother is Jamaican and Korean. Um,
Oh,
and
the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, how you doing?
In TR, I'm too dark to be the standard despite being mixed race.
So the standard. You talking about the standard in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, I'm not the beauty standard in Dominican Republic.
Because you said you're dark. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Outrageous. And so, would you know anything about the beauty standards in Haiti?
I'm not Haitian, so unfortunately, no.
Well, I'm not Japanese, but I know a fine Japanese woman when I see one. What you mean? Like what?
That's not
Kind
knowing
of.
the Japanese beauty standard. What you
She can't
perceive
really
as a
speak for
beautiful
them though.
Japanese is very
I
different than
guess
the
you're right about that.
Japanese.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
No, touche. No,
She can't
yeah, I
really
get
speak.
it. That's real.
But in Dominican Republic, there is a practice that's still ongoing called Mayor la Raza, which means to fix the race, which usually means to mix it and whitewash it. So
Did
even
you just
so,
say to fix the race?
yeah. So even though I mix,
Oh, now we done turned it up.
Yeah, so even though I'm mixed, I'm still the wrong kind of mixed because I'm not European.
Because
And
you
like,
ain't had the right temperature when they put you in the, like,
right,
hold on,
right,
wait.
right. And I'm still overcooked either way. So I'm like, even when I meet other Dominicans and they hear me speak Spanish, they'll be like darker than me and they'll still feel the need to chase me and be like, oh my God, mommy, I'm shocked that you're Latina. Like, I thought you were black. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, well, that's interesting since you look monoracial. At least I actually look mixed, but whatever.
So, Kimchi,
hmm
would you consider this a form of white supremacy?
I would consider it lasting effects of it. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the idea that you're not the right mixed race color is next level fuckery. I'm sorry.
It's diabolical.
Diabolical. You
Yeah, but
understand me?
even in America, amongst even with like Black Americans, they'll be like, they basically straight up tell me I'm the wrong type of mix. Like they'll be like, "Oh, you're Blasian. Oh no,
Oh.
you're just black. You're just black. Eh. Oh, you're too dark.
Oh.
Eh. Oh, you look too much like us. Eh." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, but y'all don't hate yourselves, right?"
Yo,
But
bro, you around
So,
raw people, yo.
being a black presenting mixed person shows you a lot about what people think about blackness, especially the people who look
mm,
the most like me. I was so shocked by their reactions
mm.
because I'm just like, you, I
So
guess,
you're saying black people have been racist to you.
well, I
Say
think
it.
that would be more
Say it.
colorist and futurist. That's not racist. That would be colorism and futurism.
Colorism and what?
That's still
Futurism.
racism. That's like racism of black people,
Futurism?
No,
isn't
features. So like my
it?
features,
Yeah.
like I said,
Oh, feature. Oh,
yeah,
I
I'm
was like
more,
futurism. Like what
no,
kind of AI? What?
no.
Okay,
That's
so
not that's not
So,
racism.
futurism. No,
That's
is
not
right.
racism.
futurism a thing? I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I'm not,
Futurism is kind of like I don't know.
no. So
That's
like in most communities, the
that's kind of like the
Afro-European
Timo of
mix,
the isms.
No,
mm,
not
mm,
really.
like most of,
Featureism?
okay, so for
Come on.
example, in America, Afro-European is the right way to be mixed. The same way amongst Hapas, being Wasian is the right way to be mixed.
Exactly.
So anything mixed with
Mm.
European is seen as, even though it's
It's
still
all
deemed as lower, it's still seen as
uh
superior. You get what I'm
So
saying?
Indians.
is that not white supremacy? What are we
No,
doing?
because
Yeah, of
Indians also do that.
course.
Indians also do that. Other
Well,
cultures
Indians
also
are
do
So
that.
the
Asian, so
Indians
yeah.
are on some. So we're not leaving anybody out. Hell, like don't
Oh
get me
no, I
wrong.
know.
Like
I'm
this is
just trying to
not.
say it's not. It's due to
See,
colonialism.
here's the
That's
thing,
the
right? When you look at the world at large and black people are Bay Street media, so you go and hear us say all the shit that goes on. But the thing is, other people will try to take
He
advantage
said
of us against
mainstream
y'all.
media.
But here's the thing: these other people come to our country and move different because they strange people in a strange land on some real shit. So they just doing what anybody would do, going leaving somewhere. They got a band together type shit. But in their own countries, you gotta understand, like they really the same as us. They be beefing, they be warring. Like think about the Mexican cartel
Who's your
operating out of
cheerleader over there,
Mexico.
Heather?
Who you think they kidnapping first? They own kids and all that to sell on sex slavery and shit. They not just venturing out to their lands and leaving their own people alone. They own everybody type shit.
Heather, do you have a cheerleader over there, bro?
Yeah.
Like, am
Listen.
I like I'm hearing somebody like just straight up giving you the flavor flav in the background? All
Hey
right,
man,
peace to the
My
goddess.
resonate,
experience
man.
isn't based on media. My experience is based off of my lived experience. So these aren't things that I'm seeing in the media. These are things that are being told to me to
No,
my
I
face
understand
value.
that, but what I'm saying is what you're saying is also portrayed in the media. I'm not saying you haven't gone through those experiences at all. Trust me,
Um,
like, but the thing is, your experiences expand more than just what you may think, because it's like, uh, it's so yeah, it's people in other countries that like there's one dude I met. He black. He said he had got locked up somewhere out Slovenia or one of them like EA countries and shit. And he
mhm.
said they never seen black people before. They was touching on him like he was like a
An
foreign piece of
animal.
object. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, but You
Yo,
gotta
you
think
guys, hold
they
on for a
literally
second.
never seen black people before. Like you can hear about it and things, but they far off in a
Yo,
place that we don't even venture to. Like to see us is
Kether,
like okay,
I want to speak to Straight Talk for 2 seconds. Straight, you there, man?
Oh yeah, man. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so now look, you can like hold me back if you need to, right? You can tell me to chill, and I will digress.
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead.
bro, man, I love the melanated woman. That's the first commandment. So we got that out the way. Now, hey, if I see you walking down the street with a pink wig, am I to assume that your hair from birth has been pink? And it's also a very synthetic texture. Is that what we're doing? So is that not a form of white supremacy?
Yes,
I don't want
sir.
to hear anything about.
I
I don't want
don't
to hear
think
anything
so.
about protective styles. Please, no one say protective style. Please, no one in the next hour and a half use the words together. Protective style. Okay,
But no
what
human,
is that?
no human has
Yeah,
naturally
yeah.
pink hair. So
Well,
if I
hold
wanted to
on,
put
hold
pink
on,
hair in my hair, why can't I do that?
hold on. So what you're saying, definitely, man, is a form of white supremacy, deeply ingrained in the consciousness of melanated women here in America because they really don't know who they are. They haven't had a chance to see who they really are. They've been seeing them, the white tea woman, for years, everywhere, billboards, movies. So at the end of the day, when you don't know who you are because somebody stripped you, then you're gonna actually gravitate to who's been in your face all the time. So definitely,
Mm,
you want to be like Becky with the good hair. You dig what I'm
all in
saying?
your face.
All in your face. My sister had to leave Alabama and literally move to Wuhan, China, right, from 2013 to 2018. She's an educator, but she's an investor. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, there they looked at her as she was crazy. They were like the brother said, they were touching her because they were not used to seeing a voluptuous melanated woman like that. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And when she went, now she lives in Lagos. She married a Nigerian.
Okay.
Man, life has been totally different for her. She's never. She only comes back for just like holidays, but
Yeah.
she'll never. She says to wake up and see yourself every day. It is such a different vibe. Whereas living
Mm,
in Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Like we live in a nice community,
mm.
so most of the people that you're seeing is Becky with the good hair. So it's
Wow.
revolutionized, and then my nieces is coming up that way. So the culture, so definitely, I wanted to say this back on what you said. Wearing that pink hair, green hair, long hair, they don't realize subconsciously they just reflecting the image of Becky with the good hair.
Yeah.
shit.
It
Even
it.
Beyonce said it. Where you think we got the term from?
Ain't no doubt.
Somebody said Becky with the thin, oily hair. Now that's not necessary, is it? I don't know.
Sorry,
Uh,
that me.
was that you?
That was
That
me.
was you. That was you.
That was me. Was that
Okay.
mean? Is the truth mean?
No, the truth is definitely not mean. But here's the thing. Am I just let me tell you why this came up today. I'm being petty, right? And I'm calling out quote unquote black people, which if you got any sense, you're not black at all, but that's a whole other thing. Because I was at a coffee shop earlier today doing some writing, it's what I do. And I got my little motorcycle parked right here, right next to the little cafe, man. It's a vibe, it's a scene. And the melanated 6'2" parking gentleman came and started to give me a ticket. And I was like, "Hey, bro, how you doing, man? I'm right here. I can move it right now." He was like, "Oh, this is yours." I said, "Yeah, I can move it right now." He's like, "You're already getting a citation." That's what he said. "You're already getting a citation." And I was like, "Well, I'm right here, though. I can move it." So you're in the red. And I'm just saying to myself, "Bro, are you serious?" And so what I know a little bit is that they don't have to give you a ticket if you're there and you can move the vehicle. It's up to their discretion, and they don't have a quota. That's the next thing. This is what I found out just from another parking friend of mine in another neighborhood out here in LA. Right, cool dude. He told me the rules and the regulations. So I just got really perturbed at the idea that my brother gave me a ticket And I was like cordial, respectful. You know what I mean? I wasn't no nothing rah rah. And I told him, I'm right here. I can move it. Well, you're getting a citation. What are you, bro? I'm right. I can move it. Okay. So that is the pettiness of today. So that is the pettiness of today's topic. I'm looking at melanated people side eye. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. You ever had one of them moments? Jeez.
Definitely. Oh, definitely, bro. Definitely.
It just made me think to myself that we're so ingrained in this particular system that dominated us and split us out, and we had to gather ourselves and cut to now. And we're so ingrained and tethered that I can't necessarily tell the difference a lot of the times anymore. To me, it's more of a mental concept than a skin tone concept at this point.
It's
But
def.
I'm
You know what?
crazy.
No, you know what? I wrote something. I'll say last year, right? And it was just me, just based off of what you just said, right? Mentalities, you know what I'm saying? And the mindsets of melanated people who they have. And so what I did was I wrote this and I used the AI to actually formulate the book, but it's just I haven't did anything with it. And basically I ran it through my uncle because my uncle's a historian genealogist, and it's the three mindsets amongst those who came out of the Reconstruction era. And
Mm, mm.
I use characters. I said there's the what I call Stephen from Django mindset, and that's the melanated brother or sister who hate who they are, but they love who they can never be. And then I
Who
expounded
that
on
up
it.
there, that nag?
Exactly. And they believe that closeness, right? Close proximity to what? Whiteness validates them. So they do everything, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day to act like them, talk like them, right? Code switch like them, right? Look like them, dress
Oh.
like them. And we
We're
seeing it
not going
right
to
now.
sit up here and give examples of who Steven from Django is,
Django
are we? Is that the game show? Ba, 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 ba. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Straight Talk's going to tell us his number one answer on who is the greatest coon in America right now.
Oh, it's Roland
I
Martin. Oh,
mean,
no. Just,
wow. Just put roly poly out there like
just put
that.
Roland. Hey,
You just
and he alpha too, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the next
yeah.
mindset is the Rodney King mindset.
Mm,
Non-confrontational melanated person, black male or female, who just want to get along because they don't want to really
mm,
address the real issue.
mm.
You,
And we
even
all
though they're
just get
being,
along.
can we just all get along? So they're not going to support you now, but they're not also going to go against you. But they definitely not going to go against Massa. You see what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
so when you push them, if you push the Rodney King mindset to the limit, they're gonna side with who Stephen from Django did, and
Oh, so
and then you
that's
have
okay. So go on. Yeah, that's two
and
down. Go on.
the last mindset is the Nat Turner mentality,
Uh oh.
which is someone who actually at the end of the day didn't hate them in the beginning at all. You know what I'm
Mm-mm-mm.
saying? Until he came to the realization that you've been misusing and abusing me, right? And so
Mm.
therefore now the anger that you see is not anger based off of hating. It's an anger, it's a righteous anger, right? Based off of the injusticeness. And now he's able to see. And so he's willing to stand up all the way to the unaliving, right? And
Mm.
gather other people. I'm not going to be the person that's going to sit back and tap dance for you because now I know the truth. And you know I know the truth. And I'm glad that your wife educated me. I'm glad that I can read the Bible now for myself and really see truly what you've been saying. So when you got that Nat Turner mentality, those brothers and sisters, they're ostracized. And here's the thing about it: at this point, white T people don't have to do it. The Stephen from Django gonna do it, and you
Ooh,
see him.
now see right there. Hold on straight. Right there is where the rubber meets the road because that's what I was feeling today. I was feeling like, well, damn, like, wait, damn, Steven, can you cut me a break? I just felt like he was the system. It didn't even matter. There was no type of vibration like, "What's up, bro, brother?" Like, it was systematic. He said, "I, you're in the red zone. You're getting a citation." I'm like, bro, I'm right here. I can move it. Nah, this is system. Because, really, when I thought about it, after he gave me the ticket, I thought, well, the robots ain't going to give a fuck about
You
me.
ain't, you ain't lying.
So it took a little off of him, but I was still kind of heated about it. But I was like, the robots are here, and they're not going to give a fuck about whatever you talk about, Hotep. What you mean? That we ain't from here, bro. Yeah, you get this citation. If you want any more of this smoke, I got a drone overhead. Whatever you need.
You're
Like,
right.
and that's here now. Straight talk. That's
Yeah, I
not
know.
fantasy. I'm not doing it. That's just reality. That's here now. What you mean? It's
Sir.
real
Yes,
cute
sir.
right now because it's the delivery little robots going down the sidewalk. I don't know where you at, straight, but like here in LA, they got delivery robots. It's robots. They ride down the sidewalk. They stop at
Yeah.
the red lights. They cross at the crossing walk. You understand me? If you're walking down and say, it's not enough room, they'll stop and wait for you to go by. Very intelligent little rovers. They rove around the whole city. It's very cute. They got eyeballs on it. The
Yeah.
eyeballs are like lights at nighttime. They're like lights for the robot to move around. Like, it's cute right now. They got the driverless cars all over LA. It's real cute.
Yeah, I see it.
Like,
I think also my brothers and sisters live in New York City. I haven't been to New York in years, but I think if I'm not mistaken, they're also in New York City too. I think they're in the major cities. They have those AI, that they're really, really, really doing the experiments in these major metropolitans. I know I was last month, well, last year in November, they released 100 autonomous semis. So I had a chance to actually, yeah,
that
yeah.
part.
Right now, I'm doing it.
We're
Right
never
now,
talking about the trucking part.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
out
yeah.
there right now.
They're out there right now, and
Autonomous trucks.
fully autonomous. They even got them where they're actually loading the flatbed, and then they're tarping the flatbed, chaining the flatbed, and
Yeah.
strapping the
I mean, listen,
flatbed.
man, look. It's my contention that at this very moment, and moments prior to this one, but definitely at this moment, there's no job a human being has ever had that the quote unquote AI can't take right now and do 10 times better right now. Right now. I'm talking about everything: heart surgery,
Fact,
litigation.
all that.
I'll build a mech sporting team to go against your best football team. My guys are iron. Whatever you
Yeah,
need,
yeah.
whatever you need. It's cool. Y'all want to play year after year. It's that the humans they go up against. They've not won in 47 years.
Can I tell you something? I'm in the process right now. Well, I've really been doing it ever since my homeboy really put me up on game because he runs the Ivy League Crypto Academy. Good friend of mine went to Morehouse. He
Yeah.
actually put me up like a couple of years ago that I need to reposition. So I'm finalizing, what I'm saying, my situation as far as being an AI expert, really a prompt
Okay.
expert. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So right now we're in that position where I'm really focused more on not just AI but AGI, which AGI is really going to be a mother
Yeah,
something.
the AGI
AGI,
situation
yeah, you been.
that's being built right now, right in
I, I,
Texas or something like that.
I was in Abilene, Texas, not too long ago
Uh,
at Stargate.
yeah.
You can go there and see it. It's like huge, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
establishment. I think 100,000 employees, but that powers the AGI, and that
Hmm.
supercomputer is what's going to do what you just said. Discover new cures, go in and help the people that I know in the medical industry are excited about how it's going to actually be able to do multiple things at one time. It won't need
Sounds like
human
the singularity to me.
man. Well, let me say something to you about have you ever heard Henry Louis Gates Jr.?
But of course,
He did a segment, and I think I wanted to share that with that brother, but he was gone, on Haiti. I watched that documentary. It's
yeah,
called Haiti and the Dominican Republic, The Island Divided. I watched
yeah,
that because my uncle's a historian. He wanted me to sit down, and man, when you was asking him the question about what is the ideal beauty, right,
yeah.
in that documentary, and I love, Mr. Gates is just he's so
Ah,
profound, so
he's
eloquent.
a treasure.
He's
He's
a
a treasure.
man, but it enlightened me more on, how you could be so close but so far away. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And how, just that one little water, that body of water is what divides them on that island.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, so I hope, I was just hoping that God could, man, that it's just so crazy what's over there in that one little island. But I'm going to let you get back to the people that just came up.
Yeah, no doubt, man. What's up, Numi?
Hey, opinion.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I just listened to the bantering back and forth. I always love coming in these lives. I feel like there's always a
Yeah,
form of learning.
yeah, of course, of course. That's why we're doing it, you know. So, what's your take? You know, what's your take?
Uh, So, just in the prompt alone, are black people white supremacists? I wouldn't say that they're white supremacists because that's like exclusively in the word itself, white supremacist. However, I do think that people can, what would I say, propel white supremacist notions, maybe unbeknownst of them, right? So, me and Mind had a conversation earlier about the feminist movement, and it's heavily rooted in racism. But a lot of people today in 2025 who support the feminist movement, obviously they're not familiar because it wasn't taught within history how it was heavily rooted within racism. So you will have a lot of groups, ethnic minorities to that of white people who do not understand where that ideology came from and why it was established within society. So I think it can be very much propelled, right? But I think that white supremacy has taken on a whole new fashion, versus, like, it's not really based on the race anymore. It's more or less based on the class.
Speaking of the
So
fashion of it all, though, speaking of the fashion, what would you say if you saw me with a Tom Cruise wig? Now I'm a brown man, right? What would you say if you saw me with a Tom Cruise wig and some sunglasses, just smooth walking down Melrose, and I just walked by
I
you and
feel
your
like I
peoples?
stepped back into the 1970s because that wasn't uncommon back then. But hey,
Just think
personally, I
about it. When
don't.
have you ever seen melanated men wear wigs? I'm not talking about old men wearing toupees. Let's take them off the table. When have you ever seen or heard tell of melanated men in this country wearing wigs? When have you heard of that?
That yeah, that doesn't really happen. So
No, no,
that's not
no,
a thing. Yeah.
no. So then why then are my grandly lovely sisters wearing hair from somebody else's head? That's the best way I could put it. What do we now, you're not going to be able to
I
answer that, right? That's
I
just a
think it's
rhetorical
fashion beauty
question.
standards. Oh, okay.
Okay. I mean, but it's rhetorical because you're not the person that you're not. I'm not sniping at you. I'm sniping at the idea that they can't understand their beauty the way that you understand yours. Wait, the question is, Numi. Here's the question, Numi. I love you. Why don't you have an Afro wig, Numi? Where's your Afro wig at? Why ain't you around here rocking a cornrow wig piece? Huh? Like, because if they wearing your hairstyle, why aren't you wearing an afro? What are we doing? Straight talk? What are we doing? Oh, Silence of the
No,
Lambs.
no, no. I was gonna let Numi go ahead and hit
I was
it.
just waiting because I wanted to. I didn't want to interrupt because
Numi, where is
I
your
understand we
afro
all got to get the
wig?
laughs
Where's
in.
your wig at? Where your wig at?
Yeah,
Afro. Where
yeah,
is it? You
yeah. I
see, you
personally don't
giggling. You
wear
see,
wigs, so.
but see, yeah, but you see, it's a giggly thing because it's like, yeah, you crazy? I'm not wearing that. What do you mean? That doesn't come out of my head. You're a fool for even suggesting such a thing, Dom. And I get it. You're right. And my
But can I
folk are
speak on that though?
spellbound. Oh, can you? I mean, I need a really lovely black woman to get in here and say something. But yes, Numi, of course you can always speak. I'm a
Okay, you're fine. So yeah, I think a lot of that is the propelled beauty standards that we've seen come up within the 80s and the 90s, on what was considered appropriate, for that of the black community to wear. If we do look at, like, historically, it was, historically speaking, how corporations or corporate entities tried to push the rhetoric that where a black woman or a black man wearing their natural hair was considered unkept and unclean, right? And then we started to notice that the marketing scandal behind certain markets was to perpetuate this ideal or notion that black women and black men must fit in to the cultural appropriation and standard of that of the majority, and that's what I seen. So I think it's just kind of taken on a whole new face, today versus like when it first started. Because now it's just more or less like it's just become a part of a naturalism to wear wig, weave, whatever have you.
Which
So,
is outrageous. But that was a great articulation. What you just said in the last minute and a half, that was great because it also put some history into the truth that at a certain era, 40s, 50s, 60s, yeah, the corporations wouldn't even hire you if you had a natural looking hairstyle. So that was nice that you put that little history in there. Also, Numi. Infinite Mind, what's happening, bro? Infinite Mind, you there, bro? You
oh,
bounced.
he dropped down.
Let me get Carnegie in here real quick. What's happening, Carnegie?
Hey, brother, ain't too much. I hope you're doing well today. Sorry about a little bit of background noise. I just got in here, so I'll just mute and I don't know. You can just let me know when you want me to chime in or whatever.
No, you good. Let me holler at you. What do you think about this particular question on the screen? What do you think about that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think yes. I think, unfortunately, right?
What does
Why?
that look like, though?
Because
What do you mean? Yes. What? Is it, what? What do you mean? What does that look like? Black people as white supremacists? What are you talking about?
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's a good question. The thing is, look, there's a lot of misconceptions. I mean, so unfortunately, there's a lot of misconceptions about what race is, right? And due to that, people project their personal intent everywhere. It's kind of like when you see someone vomiting and they start trying to hold their mouth. I don't know if have you ever seen that before?
Right?
It's
Yeah.
disgusting, right? But that's what people are doing all over TikTok all day when they are
That's
trying
facts.
to talk talk about racial issues without having a basic understanding of what the terminology surrounding race consists of, right?
Well,
So
let's
here's
let's
the
before
facts.
you keep going, I want you to
Okay,
hold
okay,
up. Don't
go ahead.
even
Go
forget
ahead.
what you're thinking. Don't forget. I just want to say this really quick, so we got a base understanding. Race is a construct. I think everyone understands
Yes,
that
that's
these words were made up. These constructs. Okay, now go on. Now go on.
right, and that's the first thing that if any group of people want to get anywhere, we have to acknowledge, because what race baiters and racists are both doing is they are using, they're trying to call a chair a tree, right? And they're thinking that everyone else should know what they're talking about. No, we don't get it. You need to tell us what you mean, right? You can't just switch words because of an experience what you or an idea that you came up with. The fact of the matter is exactly what you said. Race is a social construct came up with by a German named Johann Blumenbach, excuse me. I don't speak fluent German, okay?
Johan.
Yeah, that's right. Right. So you can just go look it up. I mean, everyone has access to Google, and you still have people running around here believing in this black and white thing. And it honestly just
You
shows that
you do know
people
you're
aren't doing
discredit
it.
you do know you're discrediting yourself when you talk to older people like me in opinion and those of us who've been a part of organizations since the 60s that educate the BLK community about this stuff. You do know that. I could tell that you're very young, and it shows definitely that you're actually validating white supremacy by acting like black people don't understand racism and act like how it's not been ingrained to the
Okay,
fabrics of society. You do know that you're actually making our point.
no, 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 no. My friend, you're talking to a person who's a Pan-Africanist who identifies culturally with my roots. Okay? You're not talking to someone that tries to use grifts in order to sway people left or right,
Oh
in
man,
order
you
to
exactly what I
enforce
was
or to
talking about.
motivate.
Hey, bro,
You
from your
sorry,
roots, can
what?
you
I don't.
name real quick? I just want to ask you a question. From these ancient roots you talking about, can you name an ancestor like their actual history, like what they lived, like that day to day type shit, that specific, like something from that ancient time you're referring to? Like, do you have pictures, a book,
I can,
writing,
but what I
something?
see, hold on, brother. I hold on. I can, but what I can see already just from a few people that have interjected is that if I start to go down that road, I'm gonna get dogpiled, and this isn't even my live. I don't get on here to disrespect people. I don't get on here to derail
Bro,
anything.
you
Your
making
brother has
assumptions
asked
about
me a
people,
question, and I
bro.
can.
Just, it's not that
Well,
deep,
well,
bro. I
well,
don't
you
think
know the
you
Yeah.
one
should
thing
Okay.
you
So
did
there's the
like
the
that.
dogpile. There's the
the one
dogpile
thing
that I'm talking about.
you didn't do
Right.
was
And
opinion
you
asked you a
interrupted
question
me. You
about the
interrupted
prompt.
me. So now, so
Right.
now, so now I'm being interrupted by two people. So now I'm being interrupted by two people
Bro,
who
you're
feel that
going
they
on a
already know
rant
where I'm
about
coming
nothing. Just
from,
go
Can you
when they
ahead.
do me?
could
Can
just
you do me?
listen. They could
What
just listen.
listen. Do me a favor, brother. Listen. You said you're not here to disrespect, so I'm going to acknowledge. He asked you about are black people white supremacists, and then expound on why you think so. That's all.
Hold on, hold on. Don't, first of all, don't call me your brother if you're gonna be disingenuous. That's the first thing.
Bro,
All
why are
right.
you
Say it
I'm
so
a
again.
man first,
confrontational?
right?
Stop with
Okay.
this
Okay. Well,
arguing shit.
what's your name?
What you're
Is
telling
your name?
me,
Is your name Carnegie?
my name
What's
is
your real
right
name?
there, Carnegie the Moore. You can call me
Okay.
that. That's my
So
real
listen,
name. That's my
So
name and title.
I get it. So
Yes.
Carnegie, do me a favor because I know you're intelligent and I know you got emotional intelligence. But
Man,
with opinion asked the question, right? He said, "Are black people white supremacists?" Based off of the prompt. We just want to hear you expound on that so we can move on to the next person. That's all.
Well, okay. Well, that's what I was doing before you went on a tirade. Okay, brother. So yeah, I'll continue. Right. So yes, I say yes because I understand what the host is insinuating. Right. He's insinuating something. Right. Black and white as a class don't exist. Those things are
Oh.
external. Okay. Okay. They're external.
how they
Okay?
external that don't
They don't have
exist?
any basis in genetics. They don't because they don't have any basis in genetics,
You
sir.
you do you do
That's the
know you
most
do know
basic and
you do know
fundamental.
you do know right now, right? So I'm 51. I think opinion is 56, right? I think we've been around this
55.
block. He's 55, okay, and we've been around the block about 1,000 times. So here's you're saying that black folks don't understand racism, don't understand the concept of race, but you don't think you're being disrespectful. I'm a sarcastic motherfucker.
Man,
And
he
I'm gonna be
said
honest
No,
you
with
you're
you.
found
disrespectful.
out
And
niggas
here's
You're
the
used to
thing.
get
Watch this.
more.
disrespectful. And
As
you haven't
listen,
figured out
and
the
I know,
difference. Sir,
and I
you're
understand.
disrespectful
I
and you haven't that's
understand
the truth.
that
And
you
you don't
being
want the truth. You're
truth about what?
disrespectful is what you are. And
Truth
you
about
haven't
what?
figured out the
You
difference at the age of
disrespectful.
50.
Truth
That's
about
the
what?
truth.
Truth about what,
Bro,
That's the
you
truth,
Carnegie?
keep talking
sir.
about Dan
Sir,
disrespect you.
you're
You
not
never
sarcastic.
disrespected you. You just in your
Okay? You're
feelings
like
like
a
a
Yeah,
kitty
girl.
cat, sir.
Like,
Sir.
calm
I got
Your
it.
down.
sarcasm is house cat level. Okay?
Thank
You're
you.
Bro,
not
you keep
intimidating
talking
anyone.
about
But
like
what I
No,
if
do
you a
sense is
let him
disrespect.
go. Let him go.
he weird.
Right? Right? So what I do
No, go
sense is
ahead.
disrespect. Right?
I'm gonna
Right.
call
So
you
I'm being
Steven.
honest and I'm being upfront with you.
I'm gonna call you Steven from here on out. Go ahead, Steven.
Right,
No.
right. Instead of calling me my name, you see how this goes, people? Y'all see how
He
that
asked
goes?
you, are you
So you
Carnegie
want
the
to call
more? He
you're
never
you're intentionally
disrespected you out
calling
of your
someone out
name,
of their
bro. He
name,
asked you what your name was, bro. Stop with that
right?
calling out name
Right?
stuff. He never called you out your name once.
It's
He
right
asked you,
there
is
in
your
my
name
handle.
Carnegie?
It's right
Bro,
there.
everyone
Can you
has a
not
name.
read?
Everyone has
Are
a
you
name.
slow?
Bro, he
Are
asked you
you
what's your
slow?
government name. Are you fucking retarded? Is my
Are you
name Kevin the
slow? It's
Reaper? Are
in
you
my
fucking
name.
retarded?
It's right
My
there, brother. All
yes,
you
my
have to
name
do is
right there
read.
too, dickhead. But that's not my
Brother, it's
actual
right
name, you
there. So what
fucking
are you
Hey,
moron.
talking about?
I don't think you need to
Philly.
say somebody's slow.
Like,
That's really
god
You're
damn,
ugly.
bro.
so
Like, this boy's a
hypersensitive. You're
weirdo.
so
You's a
hypersensitive.
fake
No, this
Moor.
is what you
Your
really are.
fake
You're
flag, your
disrespectful and
fake
you're
ancestors that you
hypersensitive.
don't know nothing
Okay?
about. Man,
Right?
you's a lame
That's
and a
what you really
weirdo that
are.
don't know nothing.
Right?
You don't even know the
All right,
law
guys.
about
All
Right?
right,
being a Moor.
guys. All right, guys. Let's
Like, you's a
chill. Let's chill,
fraud.
man. Hey, Panda.
That's what you really are.
Actually,
You're a
no, no.
fraud,
I'm
Okay?
sorry.
bro.
Hold on, guys.
Talking
Hold
about
on,
you're a
guys. One
Pan
sec.
Africanist. You
Hey,
probably never
guys.
even been to
Guys, hold on
Africa.
one sec, guys. Hold on one sec,
And
please.
there's a ton of
Laura, you there,
thousand
Laura?
Negroes like you, okay?
I
Laura,
am. I am.
how art thou?
I'm well. How are you guys? Not well right
Oh,
now, I
you see,
guess.
what do you mean? We're having a great time. What are you talking about? What do you mean? What's
Shit.
wrong?
Y'all getting
You
too
got
heated on
some
this.
punch right over here and some crackers and stuff on the table. What do you mean? Everything's fine.
Ah, shit. So,
What are
Hey
your
man, y'all
thoughts?
enjoy y'all
so
house party. Y'all enjoy y'all house party. It was great. Thank you for having me, host.
Yep. Go on, Laura.
I wasn't thinking about the
Yo,
question on a deeper level. I was just thinking, how can a black person be a white supremacist? Because the definition of it is that a white person thinks their race is superior, which
Yeah,
is which is kind of
it's
ignorant.
It can happen.
it's
It can
pointing
Really?
to the
happen.
idea, Laura. It's pointing to the idea that some melanated people have not only bit the apple and uh, drank the Kool Aid, but they're steering the ship.
Oh, because they choose like to have like their hair a certain way, or maybe
Oh man,
contacts
it,
and
it
that
goes
sort of
way
thing.
beyond hair. It goes far beyond hair, just in terms of, I guess, what you would call our or melanated folks amalgamation within this society, assimilation, dare I say, into this society. So it goes way further than just the hair. But the hair is just an everyday symptom. The hair is so obvious that there's a thing happening here. An alien could see it. Alien be like, yo, why do those darker beings wear the headdress of the lighter beings, and the lighter beings only wear their hair? Why aren't they wearing the darker? An alien could see that. So you don't even have to, that's not even like an academic thing, right?
So,
But it
oh
goes
my,
far
like,
beyond just that.
so my
It's
ethnicity
because they
ethnicity
make
is
that their
considered
American
white.
standard of beauty.
However, I just recently, like, I'm trying to learn to love myself and all that with my hair, because people looked at me because of the color of my skin or because of my hair a certain way. So I would
What
straighten my
color is your
hair.
skin? What's your skin color?
My skin is brown.
Oh, okay.
At least and I would tell that to my son when he started school. So he didn't distinguish like white. I think to define someone as white or black, I think of ethnicity in itself is just ignorant because I don't. I am considered white. I don't identify. I mean, I'm mixed with a lot of different things as well. Um, but
I
I
mean,
connect more with
you
people
can't
with.
really say that it's ignorant. You can't really say that it's ignorant because a cat is not a tiger. A tiger is not a lion. A lion is not a
Sure,
fucking bobcat.
sure,
You know what I'm saying? But they all the
yeah.
same species. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like whatever he was saying,
So
something
it all
about
comes out of
genetically, there's no
duality of man.
genetics, but yeah, there is because there's a specific, like say for African Americans, they have sickle cell anemia. That is only found in African Americans. So, or predominantly, let's go with the majority of it. So yeah, genetically, they have backup of a sort of an ethnicity, or maybe a genetic makeup more so.
How did they get that sickle cell anemia?
So
I I don't know. I didn't search it that far.
Yeah, I like to talk about root issues when people try to bring up things about melanated people here. They don't really like going to the root of the issue.
You can inform me. No, please do
No,
if you
I'm
know,
just,
because
I'm
I
just,
don't
I
know.
thought you probably knew, so I just.
No, I didn't. I don't know why they have sickle cell anemia.
Yeah, drop that shit. Drop it. I want to hear it. Drop it. I want to hear that
I
too.
just asked the question.
But
Well,
you got the
somebody
answer.
I mean,
somebody
a
can
lot
look
of
it
it
I
up.
has
want to
to
hear it.
do.
Somebody can look it up, right?
I want look. No, no, no. Look, don't take it in a sarcastic way. I want to
It's
I
be
like
mean,
like, no.
there's
but
certain
no,
elements that
but you know
Europeans
what,
have,
no,
so
no,
it's
but you know what, Laura, the reason I asked that because in the years that we've been here, melanated people, right? They've experimented on melanated people like crazily, right?
agreed.
And so at the end of the day, I asked you that because I didn't know if you knew or didn't know. I'm not going to ask like you do know, right? But I also do that intentionally, right? Because I'm a very sarcastic dude. I want the Stephen from Django mindset Negroes to step up and say something like the dude Panda.
Uh,
I do that intentionally, man. My wife don't like it. 97% of my conversations, I'm sparking
I
and
can get it.
disrupting
I can say
thought.
something on that.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's a great
because
question.
you
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 I
know
know
can
what's
say
that,
something
nigga.
on that. You know what I'm
you
saying?
know
You
Because
know that, nigga.
melanated.
you know what's
Look,
so funny,
You
Laura?
know
look,
that,
look,
nigga.
look.
When I'm
Melanated people.
hey Laura, when I'm on the campus of Alabama, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm
Because
saying. So that's why I said I
during
wanted to be
during
enlightened.
during the fall, I'm on the campus of Alabama, right? And I do share some thoughts and I talk, you know what I'm saying, concerning a couple of things. It's funny how 18 and 25-year-olds, when I go to talking, before I even can say something, right, they got their computers out. You know what they're doing? They chat GPT and everything I'm saying. They fact checking everything I'm saying. They're not gonna sit there and say, "Well, show it to us."
Sure,
And this is
you
still they
lie.
even gotta use Chat GPT. They can't even do their own research. They don't even got research skills.
Who cares
I
about
have a couple
research skills in
questions.
If
this
you have a
season?
background in a
I have
certain
a couple
area
questions.
or education, like why are you fact checking if this person has an education?
I
Like
ain't
that's
gonna lie to you
stupid.
guys. They
Yeah,
are the
I
white.
fact check everything. So I have a question for Straight Talk because I'm actually very curious now. So I did look it up because I was completely unaware how sickle cell anemia actually occurred, and it occurs through malaria. Now, what is your position on malaria? Do you think it's a natural occurring disease, or do you think it was genetically engineered? Or I'm sorry, genetically modified or engineered, which caused sickle cell anemia?
You tell me.
I don't know because I did a chat GPT, so I'm only going to scratch the surface. But I do know it comes from malaria. But I do know that we do play around with certain parameters of like diseases, right? So
So,
it wouldn't be what do you call it?
Out
Unheard
of the
of
realm of
that somebody's done
possibility.
that.
right.
Right. There's always a realm of possibility. So I just want to
I
know if you
always,
knew more and if you could expand on it.
I always say
BLK
this much.
people
I
are the
always say,
white supremacists. They are the white supremacists, and I seen that. And I seen that in these panels. They are terrible. They think they're superior. They think their melanin is great. They think
Who?
Carmelo Anthony's not guilty. It's fucking goofy, man.
hey, E Daddy, let me ask you a question. What's your nationality?
Palestinian. And they even treated
Oh,
me.
so
They
so
said,
watch this. So watch this. A Palestinian right now who's suffering at the hand of white tea people. But I'm gonna show you the cowardness of
Oh.
Palestinians. They got to come to
Well,
America because
no.
they know BLK people are at the bottom. He's saying based off of his little small experience on this app, because this app don't represent 40 million BLK people.
well,
Now
maybe,
he's
yeah,
taking
you're
this.
right.
Watch
Because
this.
I'm not a troll in
Watch this.
real life. I'm
Really, I
not a
think you
troll in
are.
real
I
life.
think you are. Most Palestinians I know are trolls. You're
Yeah,
stereotyping
see,
a
now you just told
whole.
me that you are a racist. Now you just told me. Nah, now
You're
I don't respect
stereotyping
you.
a
I ain't gonna let you
whole group of
speak.
people.
Nah,
You
cause
ain't
you
got
ain't
to.
Hey
superior.
Okay.
man, I
You
love
not my
straight
king,
talk,
bro.
bro. Like
You're
this
not my
shit
king, bro.
good.
I'ma just let you speak. Oh, good job. No, cause you say all you Palestinians are trolls. Like, nah, fuck out of here, you goofy.
Hey, y'all the ones doing the scam like
Okay.
withdrawals, man.
Okay, guys. Let's calm down.
I'm
That
calm, bro.
was
I
that
just been
was
handling this shit like all day, like every day. I feel like this is how they really feel, like their families and stuff. Their dads tell them, "Watch out from those YT people. We're better than them. Be careful now. Where our melanin takes us better places, and it takes them. We're gonna control the world, and they will be our servants one
No
day."
one
This
says
is what
that
they feed
at
them.
all,
The
Hey,
bro.
same
let me.
way that some
E
families,
No
Daddy.
one
E
the
says
Daddy.
same
that at
way
all,
that
bro.
some Muslim
No, bro,
families
you're
they feed their
projecting because
kids
you're jealous.
other
Like you mad because we
shit.
feel that way.
E
You
No,
Daddy.
mad
Let me.
because
E
when we
Daddy.
stand that way, bro. Like if we were standing person to person right now, you'd fear me just from the
no,
strength of
I
your
wouldn't. I
appearance
would
alone,
not fear
bro.
you because
Yeah,
first
you
of all,
would.
I'm
You
Muslim. I
across the
only
street
fear God.
Palestinian, bro.
Listen, I
You
only
going
fear
across the
God,
street,
and I
bro.
see the
Hold
racism
on.
Bro,
Hold
in
on,
you're
you.
Kev.
going across the
So
street,
I
bro.
so
see
E
the
Daddy.
racism. You're not
E
superior.
Daddy. Are you?
You're a
Hold on,
projectionist.
Kether.
hold on, guys.
Are
One
you?
at a time, guys. One at a time.
Okay,
Go ahead,
you
straight
good.
talk.
E Daddy. Are you a Mukmin? You a believer?
A mukmi? What's a mukmi?
A Mukmin.
A
A believer.
mukmi? A
You bear
mu'min.
witness that
Mu'min.
there is no other God but Allah. Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. You believe
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
And you believe at the end of the day Allah is one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so at the end of the day, today you're not acting like a Muslim. Today you're acting like someone that
May
actually has
God
stepped
forgive
outside the.
me. May God
And so
forgive me,
I'm
because
just, I'm just, I just
I
wanted to
know
share
I'm
that with
being
you.
wrong.
Yeah. So I'm saying, as a brother, listen. We don't need to be like this because you already know the truth based off of what the Quran has already said about
But you're
humanity,
not
right?
superior. You're not superior.
Nobody says I'm superior, brother. And that's what I'm saying. You're smart enough to know that what you hear on these apps don't represent a whole group of people. You should be smart enough to know everybody don't act like this. You have to meet people directly and learn from them one on one. All Palestinians are not Muslim, and all Palestinians don't hate Jewish people. We know this, right?
You said
Right.
they're all trolls. You said all the Palestinians I met are trolls.
I did say that. But being honest, when you said you was a Muslim, it brought me back to something. Since you are a Muslim and I understand Islam, I asked you a question. Are you operating based over the Quran? You said forgive me.
No,
And
may
you're
God
forgiven.
forgive me. You
Okay,
know what
so
I'm saying?
you're forgiven. So listen, understand, you
I
know
don't
the
know.
truth.
No, I don't know if I'm forgiven. Hopefully, God forgives me. I repented. I know I'm wrong, but you guys don't repent. That's not you guys. These other
Yes.
people, man, they're giving a bad image. And if
But
it's seven BLK
don't
people,
worry about
if
those
it's
other
seven
people though.
BLK people, and they're all letting that one BLK person talk smack, they're all
Brother,
letting them talk that smack. Not one
Who are
person
you
stopping
talking
them.
about? Who are you
he's talking
talking
about
about, Ed?
yeah, some room he was in.
Bro, like I'm thinking you're speaking about somebody like we all know. Like what?
Man, my bad, bro. I love everybody, bro. For real, it's just these people make me feel like they really believe they're superior, bro. Some people on the app, like they mentioned that shit, like our melanin is this and why. And I said, God bless you. Like Then they'd be like, no, we want whatever for slavery and shit like that, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I didn't do shit, bro.
But I'm saying, why does that bother you as a Palestinian when they talk about
Because
reparations
at
and
the end of the
stuff?
day, when I tell them
Repar, repar,
Palestinian, they don't care. They ask me, no, what race are you? I say Palestinian. Palestinian's not a race. What race are you? I say, well, is there Middle Eastern? No, there's white, black, and brown. And then as soon they be like, no, you're nothing. You're just like the YT people. They label me as the same label as the YT people. That's what
Yeah,
pisses
they
me off.
do. And
so here's,
census
my thing.
says that.
E daddy, listen, dude. At the end of the day, right? You're frustrated, right? Now, this is why my grandmother used to say, only a hit dog hollers. If it don't, if it doesn't apply, let that fly. If you're not that type of person, I don't speak for 40 million BLK people in America. I speak for Sean. That's my name. I speak for me and my family. I don't give two clicks about what's happening with other 40 because I
Bro,
don't
I just
represent.
want to go back
I'm
to my
just help.
country, bro.
Listen to what
Because
I'm
in my
saying to you.
country, in Palestine, I would never feel like this. In Palestine, everybody
You would
around me
never.
is
You would never feel
Palestinian.
like what? You would never feel
I
like
will
what?
never feel like here, and I don't feel like, for example, there's no
What do you
label
feel
for me.
like?
I'm
Tell me what
white.
you feel like.
Here I'm labeled as white. In Palestine, I'm Palestinian. You know what
So
I'm saying?
let me ask you a question. What do you feel like?
Here, I feel like nothing. I feel like I'm just segregated. It's fucking sad as fuck. This country is fucking ass. I don't know why I moved there. I moved there 18 to make money and live the American dream,
So
but
let me
this
ask
shit
you a
is
question,
ass.
E Daddy. E Daddy, if you're gonna be genuine about the situation, how do you think BLK people felt? And they've been here 400 years with this crap. And they still been able to overcome. They still been able to go to diversity. You should be looking at it from an immigrant and say, you know what? I didn't think y'all went through this, because 75% of the people that live in this country is YT people. The politicians, predominantly YT people. The top 100 billionaires, YT people. We are sitting in their world, their country. This is their laws. They
But
created
bro,
this.
you telling me that, but I since I've been here, I
So
see
what you
very
feel like?
successful BLK people,
I'm
BLK
not.
people everywhere.
You miss exactly what I just said.
But you have a label, bro. You can put black.
You
They can
just
put
said
white.
that you
I can't
felt a
put
certain
nothing
way
for
that you
being
ready to go back to
Palestinian. They
Palestine.
label me as YT. I'm not YT.
Y'all come over here and act like y'all whitey.
Oh my God, there you go again. You was trying to preach to me. You couldn't get to me. Now you dissing me. Bro,
I'm
be
just being
careful, bro.
I'm
Bro,
just being thoroughly honest with you. Y'all come over here and act just like the Cubans do. When the Cubans come over here, they turn white. When y'all come over here, y'all turn white. Everybody, yeah, I'm glad he left. Get out of here.
All right.
So what's the
We
point
can
of
pass the collection plate around.
yeah.
I got $10.
The sermon has been given today. You said, "What's the point, Laura?
Yeah,
What?
like
Why are you? Why are you alive, Laura?"
no, I want to know, like, what do you want people to hear? Like, so I'm here because I want to hear what your message is.
Well, I mean, again, I had a silly incident earlier today, and it came from a petty place. But there is meat on the bone of the question. There is meat on the bone, but it came from a petty place. It came from
It's
me
to
getting a
bring
little
up
ticket
like,
on my little motorcycle, and
mhm.
and the black man could have let me slide, and he ain't let me slide. It was like, damn, dog, you're not going to just let, I'm right here. I can move. No, you're going to get the size. And so it came out of that, but the idea has all kinds of ham hockey meat on the bone. Let's not get that twisted.
I don't
And
disagree with what you guys are discussing or saying. Beside, like the Palestinian people, my husband's Palestinian, so I
well, shout
understand
out to the Palestinians. I mean,
a part of what he's saying because they do identify him as white, which is stupid. And like I was ignorant when I first started seeing him. I thought they were Arab, but Arab is a language. It's Arabic, so you're Arab because you speak Arabic. Just like Hispanics,
mm,
you're
mm-hmm.
if you're Mexican, whatever, it's they group you, which is it's ignorant. It really is.
Well, you know what's
I don't.
funny about that? The Americans' real language is ignorance. That's
I
facts.
agree. That is facts.
It's a sad fact, but it's true. But so,
Oh, hey, bro. One thing I was just thinking about real quick in regards to the scenario with the parking blower, right? One thing I've noticed with a lot of people, it be with black people a lot, but it's not even like white supremacists. It's like system supremacists. Like when it comes to
mm,
like jobs and shit, like they just be
what do you
so for
mean?
the job and Like it don't even have to be like
Mm.
the white person, because you can put anybody in that spot. It wouldn't even matter if they black, Mexican, whatever. They're gonna do the same type of behaviors because of the position they hold.
Mm.
It'd be the name of the fact that that man has manager title is why they gonna be like that. And why
Mm.
that man has
Basically,
CEO
you're
title.
saying power. There's an
Yeah.
element of power.
Uh-huh. Like, but it's always like it's
Mm.
just it's a system supremacy thing. Like they venerate the system because it's not like the person could fall off and be a drunk and this, that, and the third after, like, so they don't matter. But they like ain't nobody gonna look down on the position that they held. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna go for
Yeah.
that position no matter what happened with the person.
But who holds the most power and authority in this country?
The system.
So why not relate yourself to that?
Huh?
Okay, but who controls the system? What race
Bro,
controls the
that's a
system?
multitude of people. That's not like a one person thing. Like, and we don't know. Like, we can sit there and we point out
Race,
faces,
race,
but if you
bro,
can see
race,
faces,
race,
you're lost
race. We can
already
go over
because
the
the
whole
faces are
globe. We can
never the
go over
ones
the
going
whole
to get you.
globe and say race.
Look, I agree with what whoever's saying race because so I am considered white, but people whenever they see me, they don't think I'm white. I go to court, I'm looking around at the judges on the wall. What are they? All white men,
All right,
and
yo,
they will judge me
White.
based
The
on
whole system.
of
yo,
my
listen.
The
hair
system is
and my
white.
skin tone.
One thing I'm gonna say is this: people underestimate the hands of these few people that I'll be speaking on. One example I'm going to give, right, is when it comes to business advertisement, which really drives a lot of what we see today in this world, advertisement. You know what I'm saying? They like women used to never smoke, but cigarette companies got women to smoke.
Edward
This
Bernays.
ever, you know what I'm saying? They targeted women and got them to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I
Who
want to give another example, like real
who
quick,
control these cigarette companies?
that's what
Who
I
control these
mean. Like,
companies?
that's corporations, but you can name the CEO of that corporation, but that corporation in itself is owned by another corporation. Like, bro, like it'd be so deep with that. You can get to a point where you
And who
figure out
owns that?
that
I
one
mean, come on,
corporation
bro.
who own
We can
all,
go all the way
but
back to
even then,
BlackRock.
like, it's
Who owns
hard for
that?
you.
You know, so we can go back to the Rothschilds. Who own that? You know what I'm saying? We can go back. It all
Yeah, but
traced back to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about black people in their authority and jobs and supervisors and managers and shit, they trying to replicate that same type of power.
yeah, but you see a person in that, they just emulate that because that's what they see. But people emulate anyone that they see in power. Like if you worked at a shitty McDonald's and the manager was a piece of shit, people are gonna emulate that and be not everyone, but there are people that will emulate that because they see it's working as a form of power in that position and be in that. The people
Kevin,
themselves
let
are
me let
just an example. The name
Kevin,
itself
let
is
me
what
let
people
Infinite
are
Mind in
chasing.
really quick, bro. Let me let Infinite Mind in here. Infinite, you there, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man?
How you doing, my man?
I'm well, man. I got a ticket today, man. I got a ticket. I was sitting right there. I was sitting right there, man. Like I'm right here. How you doing? I'm right here, bro. I can move it if you like. You're getting a citation. Oh, but I'm right here. I can move it. You're in the red, but okay, I could. And so I get a $90 ticket. You see,
Whoa.
$90 for a
90
motorcycle. It's just, I
$90
mean, it's just.
$90 involuntary donation, huh?
I mean, I was right there. I could have, and he could have not given me the ticket. That's where the flex comes in at, and it's like, bro, really? Like it's not a quota thing. Like, so what are you doing? You just around here, sheriff of Nottingham. Okay,
Hey.
so it comes from a slightly petty place, but as I was saying earlier, there is meat on this bone because all throughout the world and this particular society, there are areas where melanated folk are emulating European folk, but saying that they're not.
Right. Well,
It's
that's
like
because of
it's happening all the time. Go ahead, go ahead.
that's because of that's because of the beauty standards that have been established, for everybody to,
What do you mean? I was just talking about that. What beauty standards? What are the beauty standards?
whatever they say they are, they're always trending, you know what I'm saying? So, but that whole thing has to do with it. It's a trending thing. So whatever they establish at any given time for as the beauty standards, then, You know, that's what that's about. But um, but yeah, as far as your prompt, right? My take on now, I always come from an abstract perspective, right? So you know, so my take on the prompt is this: is that my answer to the question is yes, and the reason
What
that
do you mean? This is ridiculous. What do you mean? You're saying black people are white supremacists?
absolutely, I'm expound on that. I'm gonna, you know,
Outrageous.
you know, I don't come with the shenanigans, so, so, so here's the thing. So, and again, this is from a different perspective. This is from an abstract perspective. So we know what the norm, what is normally accepted as such, right? But here's the thing that is overlooked. So, um, for one thing, there's some high level stuff going on that a lot of people just don't comprehend. And there's a lot of energy work going on. So there's a lot of alchemy going on. So you know we got to be careful about what we speak. So a lot of people don't realize it just by using the term white supremacy. In one way, what you're doing is you're propagating the idea of it just by using that term
Oh,
because
chanting,
because because you this is well, I mean, what do we do in spell work? If you know about spell work, what is part of spell work?
spelling,
We use mantras,
casting
right?
spells,
We use mantras in spell work, right? A mantra is something that you repeat over and over, and you give power unto it as you do that, right? So and
power unto.
every time you speak it, right? You're actually introducing the idea over and over and over that whatever you deem to be whatever whiteness is, that it's supreme. See what I'm
Oh,
saying? So that's one level of it. But and there's so many ways that I can come at this, but let me give you an analogy. Let me lighten it up with an analogy for you. Just um, I'm gonna use the pool table, for example, right? Now, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she wrote a book years ago called The ISIS Papers, right? Very good book. It's a very it's a psychological breakdown on racism and white supremacy, right? Very profound work for that time period, right? So she in that publication she used several analogies with the different sporting games and stuff like that we partake in, and she related them to the psychology of racism and white supremacy. And she used one of them was the pool table, but I'm gonna take it a few steps further than what she even took it. So here goes. So you have the pool table, and the pool table representing the planet is green. It represents the planet, right? So you have all the different colored balls, right? Now we know that the game is played, by using the white ball to play the other balls out of position, right?
yeah.
And the game is over when who's left standing, the white ball, right? So I'm gonna take it a little further. So if we go off of the generally accepted perception of white supremacy, that general perception would say that it's the white ball who is the progenitor of white supremacy. That's the propagator of white supremacy, right? But I'm going to challenge that because if we look at ourselves as amongst the other balls on the table, right, and the, we're all being knocked around by the white ball, right? So put yourself in the perspective of the other balls on the table, and you're constantly being knocked around. You're being knocked up against guardrails. You're being knocked across the table, knocked into the pockets. You know what I'm saying? Repeatedly, you got this white ball coming at you, just coming at you, which replicates the white ball and the whiteness in society, right? As people perceive it, that it's always the those who are represented by whiteness that are supposedly playing everybody else out of position, right? Right? That's the perception. So, and understandably so, because if that's all you can perceive, then I can see how you would see it that way. But I'm going to broaden the perspective, right? Now, if you step back and you broaden your perspective on the situation, you'll begin to see something different. You'll see that number one, the white ball is on the table along with the rest of the balls. So what does that mean? That means that the white ball is on the table. That means the white ball is being played just like the rest of the balls. It's just that the white ball is being played in a different fashion. It's being used. It was granted privilege to knock the rest of the balls out of position over and over and over again. But the rest of the balls can't see that because they're just so consumed by being knocked around by the white ball. But so they can't see beyond that because they're so frustrated and they're so consumed by their circumstances, right? But the white ball, from a larger perspective, is being played
Uh-oh.
like the rest of the balls, right?
Uh-oh.
But so the white ball, again, it was granted the privilege. It didn't give itself that privilege. It was
By
granted the
whom or
privilege
what?
by the holder of the pool stick.
Uh-oh. I
You
knew that
see?
was coming.
But you have to
You
broaden
knew,
your
right? You
perspective.
knew to also host.
Yeah, yeah. Can I ask as well? Thanks for having me up, by the way. But does it have to be with making a decision?
Yeah, because if you come to think about it, let's say the controller of the pool table at playing the game is intoxicated and decides to hit the red ball.
Uh-oh.
What now?
You see, so the thing is that whiteness. The other reason that I challenge the notion of white supremacy is that the generally accepted perception of white supremacy is because, factually speaking, whiteness is it's a subconstruct of racism, just like blackness is a subconstruct of the construct of racism. Racism
Facts.
racism doesn't work without the existence of those concepts of whiteness and blackness.
Oh.
So factually speaking, there's no such thing as white or black people. So,
Can I ask you a question? Isn't racism a form of bullying?
so now let me tell you what racism. Let me give you my take on racism.
Hold
Racism.
on, real quick. So, racism, I'm going to give you an example. I was a soldier in the army, and
Uh-huh.
I went to 5 units, okay? I'm Puerto Rican. I went to 5 units, and every single unit thought I was black. I am done.
Okay.
Okay, so you're telling me
They
that
were
Indentured
thought you were
service.
I
white.
was being judged. So yeah, you're welcome. So you're
Okay.
telling me that that's what I'm saying. I look okay. See the panel picture? Grab that guy right now and put both colors together. Put the hair and everything, and you can see a picture of me because I am both. My father was white. My mother was black. I come from a Puerto Rican descendant, so I come from the African black, and I can do all that stuff for me. To be
Uh-huh.
honest, once people
Listen,
get out of the
man, I
motion
got your
of the
photo
black
off of Facebook,
supremacy,
man. I'm not going to pay you, man. I got your photo off of Facebook.
you got my photo off of Facebook.
So
What?
It's a
I
joke.
don't get
He's
it.
just
Anyway,
trying to
what?
create a
Oh,
laugh.
sorry. Yeah, thank you.
so
I'm sorry. It's just what I'm trying to get to is if we were to take the colors away and this is my no
Yeah,
face theory, we wouldn't have faces and it would go based on emotion. I think the world
yeah.
would be a different place. Not a better, but I think it would be a different place and we wouldn't have these arguments about who's in control of what because in the end, the master of all of us is fear. I am done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
My sands
yeah,
of
Oh,
yeah,
time
yeah,
are
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
bars.
so
So,
so
can I
Bars.
say? Can I say? Because of color, this is the argument. Color is the argument because it interferes with the argument. Now, think about it this way: we are all human.
that's right.
There's there's no such thing as color.
That's right.
So hold on. So what you're saying is that, right, in the world today we live around, because we're all human, right? So here's my question to you: Why isn't just 5% of the people treating people like humans?
Well,
And
well,
these are
well,
poor.
well, well
These are hold on. These are poor working class people. Why aren't the 5% poor working class people who are in the same boat down here in Alabama, Tennessee, where I'm at, real time? Get off the fucking app. Why can't you go and say, "Hey, listen, I'm working the 40-hour job, making 40,000. It's a white guy. If I go to Pulaski, Tennessee, he should be treating me like I'm a human, right?" But that doesn't happen in Pulaski, Tennessee. That doesn't happen in Coleman, Alabama, in real time for the intellectuals on the panel. So why is it not happening with the 5% humans that ain't even rich?
So
Explain that to me.
I'm from South Louisiana, and so
I want him to explain that to me before you get into the
okay,
South Louisiana, because
go
I
ahead, go
got
ahead.
folks in Thibodaux and Lake Charles and
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
yeah. So look. So we know what the experience are. Nobody's no nobody
Can
is
you
gonna.
explain that though? I want you to explain that though.
I am. I was actually going to cover that in my dissertation on racism. So here's the thing. So no one's gonna refute the living, breathing experiences that.
You're refuting it right now.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Everything
yeah,
you're
No, I didn't.
saying,
yeah, 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 yeah,
everything
yeah,
you're
Yo,
yeah.
let
saying
him
right
speak.
now
Let him speak.
refutes
No,
Just
I
let him
didn't.
everything
speak.
that
Let
you
him have
said.
his time.
Hold on, hold on, hold
Listen,
on.
listen. Everything you're saying right now, we're gonna have a dialogue, Infinite, because I've been on these panels before. I have no opinion,
Okay.
and so because it's about two, four, six, eight people on here, and I want you to understand at the end of the day, you're gonna get major pushback from me because what you're saying is this: it's
Hey,
all
I'm ready
race,
for it. I'm
and we're
ready
all
for it.
humans. So that means when we get off the app, everybody's gonna treat each other right, from Miami to Maine, and especially in states like Montana and Idaho. You can go in there and they're gonna treat you like humans. But I know that's not a reality.
So here's the thing. Okay. So what I just spoke on, what it was, see, and this is part of the problem. This is part of the problem right here is that, and I spoke on it the way I spoke on it for a reason to start with, because one of the problems with this whole topic when it gets discussed is that the living, breathing experiences of flesh and blood people are constantly bundled together with the concept and the ideologies. And if we're going to really deconstruct and dismantle this thing called racism, we have to begin by, so to dismantle or deconstruct something means to take it apart piece by piece.
Brother, we're
Right?
not students. We
No,
are,
bro.
most of us on here probably 30, 40, and 50 got degrees. We understand it. And you made something that's not a
Oh,
factual
we don't know.
statement.
What,
You do
Oh,
know,
we
you
don't
do
know.
know, you do know racism is $1 trillion industry, right?
yes, I do know that.
Okay, so if you know it's $1 trillion industry, then you ain't finna get in somebody's pockets trying to deconstruct. The concept of deconstruction on racism, listen, if it was gonna happen, it would have happened in the 60s when we had real people who
No,
was
no, no,
actually
no, no,
doing
no,
real time work. And
no,
guess
no,
what? Every single one of those
no.
people got unalived. So you sound intelligent, but guess what? I know in real life, you're just intelligent.
Yeah, so for my information, the body of power creates racism, right? So when you create power, you create a divide.
What
And there it
nationality are you?
is.
What
Power
nationality are
creates
you, Kevin?
itself. There's
I'm
always
from
a
Ireland. I'm from
dynamic of
You're
Ireland.
power.
from, so you got an Irish guy talking about racism when the whole continent of Europe is responsible for the Atlantic slave trade. But I guess that's a fugazi, right? That's the theory. That's the lie. That didn't happen.
I mean, before you even get that far, just from the strength of them being Irish alone, y'all was warring with each other over who was Protestant and who was a Catholic. Like,
Like, go figure. You know what I'm saying? This is the asinine. This is the
I
reason
know
why
about
this
Irish history.
this the reason why young people don't want to listen to anybody out here because y'all don't even want to deal with what's real in real time. Y'all want to
But
get
see,
intellectual, get the degrees, sound
yeah,
intelligent.
yeah.
You should be a motivational speaker like Tony Robbins, but guess what? And get paid big money. Now, Infinite, I think you can get paid big money as a speaker, but in real time, you're not doing this in real time in no city in America. I promise you. Are you black? You're not going to Montana talking like that. You ain't going to Idaho talking like that. I
You're not even
promise you,
going
you're
to
not.
Ireland talking like that.
Why?
You
Why
know
not?
what I'm
You
saying?
Irish, bro. You
He
can't
said
even go
you're
to
not going to
Ireland talking like
Ireland
that.
talking like that. Yeah, that's correct, sir.
Well, say what you will, but again, I'm gonna proceed. Okay, is racism is misinterpreted. Racism is not what they told you it was. Racism is not groups of people. That's not what the race is. The race in racism is the competition that you were thrusted into when you were classified. That's what the race in
Yeah,
racism is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you hear what you just said? You said racism is a competition.
That's right. It's a competition for survival.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't
So
matter. It doesn't matter.
what does it matter?
Your racism
I
doesn't
don't think it's
matter.
for survival. I think it's to achieve power.
No,
Now,
exactly. No, no.
you know, now he said something that Dr. Claude Anderson said about 60 years ago. For some of you young people on here, right? Dr. Claude Anderson, y'all don't know him? Go look him up. He said racism is about economics. It's a
Racism.
race.
No, no, it's
But
about
watch
more.
this. He literally said Dr. Claude Anderson's got a lot more credibility than you do, Infinite. He
I know who
said
Dr. Claude
literally,
Anderson is.
he said literally that it's who's winning the race. So who's leading and winning the race from a nationality standpoint, Infinite?
Listen. First of all, I know exactly who Dr. Claude Anderson is.
Who's leading the race, brother?
The- you
Amen.
can
Amen. Amen.
hold on.
Who's Who's leading the race economically right now in America from a nationality standpoint?
Hold on, I'm going to answer it, but I'm going to answer it my way. Now I know what you're looking for. Let me
You're
fix
gonna
it.
beat around the bush.
I'm
People
No,
like
glad
you
no,
are
you're
listen,
answering it
listen,
your
It's
listen.
way,
white
because if
people.
No,
you
hold
were
on, hold
answering
on.
for
There are no
somebody else,
white
you would
people.
basically be another doppelganger of society if you're going to answer.
some
Now you
questions.
have to
Some questions
confirm.
are some questions are yes or no. People who choose to go around China and come back are very disingenuous in my many years of listening.
Yeah.
But
No,
go ahead, Infinite.
Because you're trying to find a way to not be wrong. I mean,
no,
not
no, no, no.
like,
What
but
you want to
also be right, like,
what you
or
want
whatever, like,
no what you want to hear is you want to hear the white man. That's what you want to hear.
because
You
that's
just
the actual truth of it, bro.
Actually, be honest with you, I said nationality in America today. Who's leading economically?
Oh,
And if you
that's
know
Jewish.
the stats, you'll know economically. It is not even
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Jewish
yeah,
people.
yeah,
It is not.
yeah, yeah.
I said nationality. It's India.
Oh,
If you look at the
Hundred
stats
percent, hundred
economically.
I ain't know
percent,
that.
100%,
So,
100%. But
Infinite,
David,
I did
you
not
don't
know
really
that either.
understand who you're talking to when you're talking to me from the stats standpoint. And when it comes to economics, I'm the type of dude that do this every single freaking day, right? So go back to what you're saying now. They're leading, and guess what? Do they operate independent or do they operate in group economics?
Group
they're the
economics.
group.
Thank you,
But
group.
so what are you saying? So what are you saying?
so group
Man,
economics,
as intelligent as you
so,
are, you don't know what I'm saying right now. I
It's
can't
so
help you
telling.
group
there.
What are you saying?
group economics means it's like you're following the sheep. It's like you're following the protocol. That's what you're doing.
Again,
You're you're
racism does not pertain to a group of people. Racism is the activity. Okay, it's the activity that they have you participating in. That's what racism is. That's why racism is the race that none of its participants can ever win. It's the only race that none of its participants can ever win. For that reason, because the participants of racism are those five social classes that you see on when they have you check a box on the
Bro,
document.
everybody's a
Okay.
participant. A rate. Hey,
can
bro,
I say
listen, real quick.
something?
Hold on, let
Can
me
I
say
say
something, bro.
something?
Go
Can I
ahead.
say
Your
something?
piece.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't mind me saying, racism is um is a kind of a form of distraction.
Yes, it
It's a
is.
form of, yeah, 100%, right? So what it
Yes.
does is, yeah. So what it does is it influences people to this idea that this is what it is. That's what happens. So then we get caught up in that. We
Right. So,
we
hey, Infinite, let me ask you a question. What's your nationality?
are you asking me?
No, Infinite. Since we don't have a United Colors, we got United Nations, and everything about America is either economical or nationality. What's your nationality, Infinite?
I don't go by nationality at this time, but I have beautiful brown skin. I'm melanated.
I actually see now you're dealing with color. We ain't dealing with color. I'm dealing with what the government deals with, law. I'm dealing with what's your nationality.
Well, it ain't black because black ain't a nationality.
I didn't say ask you a question. See, you're so smart that you think you know more. I asked you what's your nationality. That means what nation you come from. You got any ties to any nation with a flag?
Uh, no, I was born in America.
Okay. So you have no identity really. Your identity is tied to to what was created by these Europeans, by
No,
these
it isn't.
colonizers.
No,
Yes,
it
it
isn't
is.
because it
Yes, it
isn't.
is.
No, it
Yes, it
isn't
is.
because
So
no, it isn't
now I'm
because
going to educate you on group economics. See, Indians come over here, they declare their nationality. And because they declare their nationality, there's rules, there's laws that's connected to that. They get finances. And then they take their money and they pull it together. And guess what they start doing? They incorporate stuff. They don't get LLCs, they incorporate stuff here. They do it before they come here. Most of the time, they put a holding company together. And then what they do is they start buying income producing assets. Mostly because I know a lot of Patels in Birmingham, Alabama, they buy hotels. As you see, 90% of the hotels they got. And that's group economics for their nationality that's incorporated. And then they buy gas stations and they do that. They pool that together, but they have a nationality. See, you on another note, Irish do this, Italians do this, Jewish people do this, every other nation do this, but people that look like you, that want to act like you're intelligent about something that's a reality when you get off the freaking app. So that's group
thank you
economics,
for
which BLK people can't have that because BLK, like you said, thank you for saying it's a construct, it's a form of supremacy. It doesn't register because it means you're dead anyway. It
right. That's
means
right.
you're unalive. Okay, so watch this. Since you already know that, well, then the only people in this particular corporation that's dead are the people that look like you.
No, that would pertain to the those who are dead would pertain to all those five social classes that were created by racism. They're all false constructs. None of them are tied to nationality. They're all false
Yeah, but
constructs.
what you sound like is that we don't mean anything.
No, I didn't say that. The system said that you didn't mean anything. That's why it classified you.
Hey, I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but to be honest, the way the world is going, this is my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you so much for for letting me have the floor, real quick. I think this is gonna end up like Divergent. We're gonna have five classes in the main. We're gonna have the government taking over. I won't be able to see this because I'm 47,000 years old, so I'm glad. But I think it's gonna be like that. Color is gonna be a thing of the nothing. It's gonna be what can you do, and if you can't do it, then we're gonna put you on the side over here. And that's my opinion. Thank you so much for letting me have the floor.
Yeah, it's gonna be a harder
And there it is.
capitalistic
And
drive.
there it is right there.